So that's us on to the final body repair I'm going to do on the Escort. Hopefully there's no welding. I think there might be. There's naturally a drain plug here which seems, well, not a drain plug, a drain opening here which seems to be a wee bit crusty and a wee bit wider than it's meant to be. And then this here, so we're going to dig into this and then see what welding we've got to do. Probably good that I had my mask on so you didn't pick up any of the swearing. Yeah, this doesn't look ideal. And it looks like a fair bit of work here. Yeah, so somebody kindly obviously fillered all those holes up at some point and then painted over them, as you do. So all this shite here, underneath, well, most of that isn't a hole, that was the drain I was telling you about, but the drain only comes to about there, so that's all corrosion. Incidentally, that bit isn't too bad there. And then around there, that isn't ideal either. So, I'm gonna have to have a wee think about that. I mean, that's solid there. And keep that, probably just put a lip on that. And these bits aren't that challenging, but where it leads up to the edge, that could be a wee bit tricky. I mean, I'd done this in the Rover, but I had offcuts where I just cut straight along and then put another piece straight on, so it was dead simple, but I don't have the luxury of that here. So, yeah, I mean, this is all solid here. I mean, I could just, I guess, do a couple of patches, build its strength back up. You know, that's probably what I'm going to have to do with the time that I've got left on it. Do my best round there. Right, let's see how we get on with this one. Right guys, so here's the plan. Cut along here, cut down there. You know, that doesn't join anyway, that's just loose. And then just put in a whole section, try and make one on the bench. I've decided just to leave that in just so I can get, you know, the positioning there correct. And then that piece I'll just touch in because there is just a little bit gone there, so I can just cut in a very small bit while maintaining that shape, because otherwise it could be quite a tricky one making up by hand. So we'll get that cut out and we'll get a template made. So I had another wee dig about under here and we have a hole in the sill. So we'll get that cut out. We'll get just a crude patch put in that. The plate's coming along well so far. We'll get that sorted first. We'll get the remains of the old one off and take it from there. Okay, so that's that wee plate just stuck on there. I didn't bother filming it just because the angle it's at, it's sitting kind of under there. So yeah, just a seam welded a wee patch on there for that. You're not going to see it, so I'm not even going to bother cleaning it up. In terms of the welding, I've rubbed down this as well just with a wire brush. We'll put some rust eater on that, it's just a little bit of surface there, and then we'll paint that before we put this on. Okay, final part here to the front wing welding project. So yeah, so I made this plate up. As you can see, it's a bit of a complex one. You've got a tiny little line there as that comes down, put in, and what I've done is I folded this over so that it looks a bit more factory coming down there. That's just a drain area that the standard one had. So weld it there, we'll weld it there, and we'll weld it there. And we'll try and get that clamped in place. I might need to use some little clamps, just make sure it's in the right position. So we'll go and get them, then we'll make a start. Yeah, we'll put some paint on that as well. So. And there we go, there's the plate in. Not my finest work, but it's in and it's solid. There, so yeah, I've cleaned the welds up. I'm gonna get a bit of filler on there. You see it's held at the bottom there as well, so I think that's pretty decent. That'll do the job. So it's just this will be the last bit to do, cutting a wee lip here. And I think that is us done with the front wing. It's definitely not a great match. You got a wee bit of a line across there, but you know, it is what it is. It's yeah, you can see it from that angle. Well, that angle it looks good, and that angle it does not look good. But again, it's solid, and the holes are all sorted in there.